Hello there, welcome back to the Ogre, the old Git Reacts, Reviews and Oft-Times Reminiscences. Today we're doing Aristarchos, or this album I bought recently. I heard it one or two times before I bought it, and I've heard it one or two times since, but it's still quite fresh. And so we'll have a little listen, shall we? Yes, we blooming well shall. Let's go. It's always nice when a new artist sort of grabs you straight away and gets you interested. Sometimes it takes a while for music to bed in, particularly if it's got intricacies in which don't immediately reveal themselves. But this has intricacies that don't reveal themselves straight away, but there's sufficient there from the very, very beginning for you to go, ooh, and listen to it some more. And it didn't, as I say, it didn't take very long to get this into my collection. I noticed whilst listening to what was I doing? Listening to it on YouTube before I bought it, that the comparisons are being made to Nightbringer and Achilles, which I understand. But I think after listening to this, I listened to the previous album, and that it's probably more accurate in using those comparisons. This one has moved on, and although you can sort of find bits that you would say, oh yeah, that reminds me of, by and large, this has morphed into something a little bit different, and I think maybe a little bit more rewarding for me. I think one of the things that you could say puts Aristarchos, definitely in the same spectrum as the bands I mentioned before, is because it has that magisterial air to it. It sort of it's as if these are intrigues between gods. Us little folk down here don't really matter too much. There are far grander schemes afoot in this music, and you know, as a consequence, you do feel as if there is a what am I trying to say? You feel as if you're somewhat insignificant, maybe, because you're not worthy enough to listen to this music. Yes, that's bollocks, isn't it? But you know what I mean. I'm sure you do. Do you know? I don't know. Anyway. It's a bit like walking through the forges of Vulcan here. You are alternatively passing by bedded embers, and then the next minute you turn a corner to be greeted by or singed by raging infernos. It's glorious stuff, and I think something else that holds this artist apart from those I've already mentioned is some of the aspects are a more folkish tinge to it than the other ones do. And I had a little chuckle there at the narrative. It reminded me of something, and couldn't quite remember. Then it reminds me a little bit of Balsagoth back in the day when Byron, wasn't it? He used to do his little spoken word pieces. But yes, this is full of fire, and as a consequence, there is warmth about it. Some things are so stark that any light is still cold. This isn't. This is singeing. It singes you, and I was going to say there's something else I was going to say, but it's gone again, as usual. It's come back to me. One of the things about when you create music like this, and particularly on longer tracks like this, where you inevitably have ebbs and flows in the dynamics, it's far too easy to get caught up in your own storytelling and forget that for people like me that want some vim and vigor and some hoorah and a little bit of the blast, or a lot of the blast, preferably. You got to keep us people happy as well, those that who are more contemplative. So I'm happy to report, as you can hear yourselves, that this artist doesn't forget to ramp up the drumming from time to time, and even when it's sort of somewhat subdued, usually there's a fair bit of kick drum in the background, so it just sort of keep your heart beating quicker than it normally would. And what else? Oh yeah, I meant to mention it earlier, but quite a nice effect in the vocals earlier, where there was that deep throat humming in the background earlier on, which again adds to that magisterial nature and that sort of greater beings forming the narrative, telling the narrative. Yeah. I shall let us run to the end after this, but one of the good things about this album is there are melodies in there that are definitely earworms, and sometimes you don't realise it until later on. So the other day I was hooning down the side of a hill on my mountain bike, and the one or two of the melodies from this song came to me out of the blue, and I was humming them as I descended. So, as I say, throughout the album there are the little sort of earworms that will grab you. The whole thing will grab you. It grabbed me, but there are extra special little bits that do sort of burrow their way in there, and you don't want them to leave when they do. So there you go. That was gripping. I do tend to listen to music in the background very often, and so very often the first time I listen to an album or a song properly is when I'm doing these reactions, reviews, or whatever they may be. And so it's revealed itself to me in even to be an even greater delight when I've had to actually sit down and think about things. So glorious stuff, glorious stuff. And the whole album is similarly delightful, and it's well worth you dipping your hands in your pockets and chucking it that way. Anyway, glorious. Clicky bollocks. Catch you all next time. Cheerio.